Hi, my name is Chuck Clark. I do a YouTube page, Trees of Conflict. And my daughter wrote a painting there that kind of typify it. Um, Today I want to do something I think a little different. I was out and about a little bit. I'm sweating a little bit. But I was out and about a little bit and, watching all the people with face masks and stuff. I mean, it's actually getting worse. Um, I could get my own coffee cup and sugar and all that stuff, But to get a lid, I had to go to the place where the cashier, and they would give me a lid, and it was, um, like if somebody was handing me, I had a napkin wrap there and handed me one. Just the insanity of the whole thing, But yet I could sit and tear away the sugars and get the cups and do all that stuff, but it's just I have to laugh, because sometimes uh, when things are against nature or science or just really don't have any rhyme or reason, other than being told to do, and I'm a nature that if you send me in one direction and tell me something, what I mean, I listen to you and I will do that thing, and then if you come and tell me to do the opposite thing, the next thing, if I'm being paid, then hourly, I will happily do it, doesn't matter. But when it just comes to my own health and things that are important, once you told me to do something different than the first thing, you kind of lost me, really. At that point, I start doing my own research. I mean, it's just, what I mean? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. And from then on, you can't fool me no more. I mean, I'm not, I'll do my own thank you. And, I'm surprised more people don't do that, but I do understand it. Being a little different than a lot of people. For some reason, I can't. I have to laugh a little bit at it, but no. Getting on a serious note, what's going on is indeed overwhelming a little bit. It's taking place. This thing is rolling out. Whatever you want to call it, it's worldwide. It's I was listening to the president speak, and he actually said some wonderful things. He actually said the words, this is like a seasonal flu, But, he's not able to do everything that needs to be done. No politician is, because they all answer to somebody. And it should be the people. But right now, it's multinational corporations and who has the most money, I mean, come on, big kid on the block, I mean, it's this is beyond their control also. This isn't about politics. It's really about God, the power of God. And that can change things. And Paul was a master at this, he was living in the time of Rome, and Rome had some very serious practices and laws and things. And, Paul says, that governments are of God, Romans 13, that, be subject unto the powers that be, because there is no power but that of God. And, we are given governments according to us, how we are. God gives us rulers according to how we behave. So we have the most wonderful government ever, a government by the people. And the people are mighty, but they're easily controlled. And, really, it is God that moves the hand of governors and people. And he's looking at his people. I think Second Chronicles 7:14 is pretty much a moot point. Don't get me wrong. I mean, anything God can do, anything. He did it for Nineveh. That bought him 200 more years. But I think that this ship has probably sailed. Anything's possible. There's always hope. Because The enemy has not been revealed yet. So anything's possible. God can do anything. But more likely it will be like in the time of the flood, you know, that there wasn't enough witness. You know, Noah only was perfect in his generations, you know. And his kids were not all that, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong. God blessed them, and, God picks and does what he does because he knows what he wants. He has a desired, he's seen the beginning from the end. We do not. But my point in all that is really, if God's people will do what they're supposed to do, we could have a much better outcome. You know, God's people they are who they are, and they will get the rewards as they get them. But how this turns out will be similar to the way it turned out with Paul and the apostles and the time of Rome. You know, Rome got tired of listening to it appears the Jews and the Christians, and tore down the temple and all that. You know what I mean? They just got tired of all this madness. And early on, some of the rulers of the church were saying, hey, we're going to be called to account of these uprisings. We need to put a quell to this, because God has ordained government, and God has ordained his people. And he puts them together, and, we have Daniel is a wonderful example. He went through a couple regimes and carried away, from Jerusalem, and carried away on to Babylon, and gone through a couple of kings. And, we could end up in that same kind of situation if time were to abide longer. Nobody knows exactly how it's going to end. We all have a lot of theories and, guesses and stuff, and how things look, but it's been that way since the beginning. And that's not going to change. But we can weather through this easily. I'm watching my time. But we can weather through this easily just by being God's people. He's given us all the tools we need to be able to do this. Precious promises. That by these promises, Peter talks about that we can overcome the lusts of the world. And right now I'm seeing them we're all affected. And I'm seeing them in just slightly different ways. People are not used to being out and seeing each other. Then suddenly they see each other. And, the power of money and power, just we're all affected. But where are our eyes looking? I did a text today on Sermon on the Mount, Matthew chapter 6. And, right around 21, it starts talking about... where's your eye? And then right after that, it talks about you can't serve two masters. That, either God or mammon, one or the other. Where are we looking? Where are we looking for our help? If I've got, $1 million in the bank account, of course I'm going to look to that help, I mean, if my car needs fixing, I'm going to go to the bank. But God has a way of leveling the playing field. It talks about it in James chapter 1, that once we're in God's hands, he will orchestrate our finances and everything we need. We get what we need, and then, if we accept and are grateful for what we need, what we get with God, then, he goes even further, and, blesses our socks off, so to speak. But it's not usually with a Ferrari. Yeah, because, if I get a Ferrari, my neighbors would be jealous, and, I'd be causing hate and discontent, really, But, I have a Honda. And they're okay with the Honda, because they're driving BMWs, But we get what we need, Feed me with food convenient for me. So, Proverbs 30. That I'm not rich and forget God, which happens. Or poor and steal, because I forget God in another way. It's all about myself. We're about to be pressured in some unusual ways, and food is going to be one of them. That, the shelves are getting empty and doing all that weird stuff, and we've gotten some exercise, some push-ups with it. But really our reliance is on God. you know, and God will take care of us. Psalm 91, the 911 call, you know, Psalm 91, 1 through 10, God, it says, we don't have to worry about these plagues and all this stuff. You know, it's a shame that, our older people they don't have the right anymore to live decently as people. If they go to a nursing home, you get to view them from a window, and that's how sad, served in wars. And, now all of a sudden they're going to be, separated because of a flu bug, basically. I mean, I know any of them would say, if it was me, I know for my sake that, I'd rather be with my family and risk catching a cold than, being sterile in a nursing environment. I know all about nursing environments and stuff, and, I get a friend that says there's two types of nursing homes, bad and real bad, And that's, there's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of truth to that, unfortunately. People are people, and, you're back to the classroom or kindergarten setting that people can be cruel to people, especially when there's nobody else around, Anyway, enough on that little topic. God will take care of us, though. This medical thing is a whole nother bag, and maybe I'll get into that a little bit next time, because that's really the war we're in right now. It's a medical thing that, number 3 cause of death is medical mistakes, and now we're going to allow the medical people to make it number 1, to take over and do their thing. I mean, that's insanity. Uh-oh. Optimize something and just tell me something. So I'm going to end for now. But God bless you. A quick prayer. God, help this nation. Help us to be reasonable. Help us to look at the evidences before us and make reasonable assertions. Help us not to be propagandized, Lord. Shut the TV off and live outside with people. And Lord, get a little news if you need to, if there's something. But Lord, everything else is this flu thing. And Lord, let us not be crippled by being afraid of a little virus, Lord. And we'll thank you for it in Jesus' name. Till then.